A belief worth challenging must be challenged. To continue with the studies, what we have understood with regard to limiting beliefs and facts. It is the continuation session to the aspect on limiting beliefs are not equal to facts. In the last session, we have discussed about, is it really true that one-to-one discussions are really easier than one-to-many discussions? We have proved it, and I have given my perspective to that one. Now, working on the point number two, I'd like to say having a command over the language in public speaking. What do you feel it to be? Is it a limiting belief, can be challenged, or is it a fact required and mandate while delivering a public speaking? To my perspective, I'd like to say yes, it's a fact. It is a fact. It is a fact that having a command over the language to which you are going to use as your medium of presentation, you must have the command over that language. Most of the people they do say, without having a command over the language, also we can speak. Yes, you can communicate with people even if you are not having a command over the language to maintain the day-to-day communication. But to deliver what you are willing to present to the audience, in that particular case, having a command over language is highly essential. Now, to make you very clear, what does it mean? What does it mean to have a command over language? I don't say that you need to use the highly impressive jargons, that you're going to use the buzzwords, maybe the sense of words to which the audience need to find out the dictionary or to scroll out the dictionary in the mobile application, that what sort of words you're speaking. I don't exactly mean that having command over the language means to use the jargons or using the highly influencing words to which the meanings you are going to find out or search in the dictionary. Command over the language do mean the language which generally people can understand, the language in which you can deliver your thoughts, your emotions, your perspectives in a proper manner, with a clear thought, with a clear vision that you are going to reflect to the audience with regard to your message that you are going to deliver to them. In that case, I'd like to say it cannot be said as a limiting belief. You cannot challenge this, that without having a command over language, also one can become a public speaker. Yes, one can become a public speaker, but for that reason, you need to have a command over the ways, the thoughts, the expressions that you are going to deliver to the audience and that is there within your mind and to which you are going to transform in the shape of your words, express them in the form of your feelings to the audience, that what is really required. Now, if I have said you that command over language and public speaking is essential. Now, the third point which I am going to bring to you is the command over thoughts. I'd like to say both these two things are quite interrelated to each other. Command over language and command over thoughts. Now you would ask to me, what does it mean, Mr. Dev, command over thoughts? Now command over thoughts means the way you are having a thought process of certain things. Doesn't matter that you are going to speak it in only English or you are going to speak it in your own vernacular language. The language to which you are using as a platform, you need to have the command over your thoughts. If you don't have a command over your thoughts, the spontaneity or the flow of thoughts will not be there, and that will restrict and act as a barrier to the command over your speech or the command over your language or the command over your expressions or the command over your representation to the message that you are going to deliver to the audience. Now, how to develop the command over your thoughts? And give you a very simple technique how to develop the command over your thoughts. Now, for instance, you are going to speak in English and you are going to deliver a speech to the audience in English. First of all, you need to identify that whether my mind is capable or trained to have the command over the thoughts. It may not be always true that you should be always having the thoughts in English. try to speak the same speech in your own vernacular language, but use your mind to have the command over your thoughts. And the command over your thoughts to which you are going to represent it to the audience, you need to transform them into the words to which you are going to deliver to the audience. And now, if that is possible in your own vernacular language, try next to think the same in English. Now, if you are going to prove that you are having a command over the thoughts to which you can deliver in your vernacular language, then certainly I'd like to say command over any other language. Maybe a command over a foreign language like English would be really very easier. Why? Because you have a command over your thoughts, and only what is required is the command over your language. So that becomes really very easier because you are having thoughts with you. Only thing is that you need to work upon the language. If you are really becoming strong in command over the language, and these two things are getting combined together, that gives birth to the best public speaker ever. Because this public speaker who is going to deliver his or her thoughts in front of the audience is really having a command over the thoughts and a command over the language. These two things are combined together to deliver the thoughts in a very expressive manner. Now, coming to the fourth point of the discussion, or the last point of the discussion, you can say. The fourth or the last point of the discussion is all about a single term called inspiration. Now, this term, inspiration, whether you are inspired by others or you are inspired by yourself, it's a question that you need to ask to yourself, dear all friends. Now, most of you will say, I do really get inspiration from others. What do you feel? It to be a limiting belief of a person that I do get inspiration from others, not from myself? I'd like to say you, dear all, getting inspiration from others is really very easy, but getting inspired from your own within becomes really very difficult. One may get inspired from other, but how long that inspiration is going to stay with that person? Until and unless the person is getting inspired from his own within, from his own self, that inspiration is not going to stay for a long time, my dear friends. Try to keep it in your mind. Now you would ask to me, what does the definition of inspiration for you, Mr. Dev? I like to say that one in a very simple terms, in a very simple words, my dear friends. The first time that you have conceived a new idea or a thought to which you have turned out to be very passionate to work on it, to struggle for it, that is called as your inspiration. Until and unless you are getting inspired from your within, no one is going to inspire you, my dear friend. Even no one can inspire you in your life until and unless you get inspired from yourself. Let us take an example. You are taking attempts to speak, you wanted to become a public speaker, and you have conceived that idea maybe a couple of days back. You decided that I should become a public speaker. I should stand in front of the public and I should speak certain things. Certainly, that moment you would try to struggle. And what I said in my previous video lesson, that the value of success doesn't depend upon the amount of hard work that you do, but rather the value of success depends upon the amount of struggle that you are doing every time to work upon, take attempts, and to perform certain things with core inspiration from your within. That what is called as the value of success. Inspire yourself. Don't get inspiration from others. Let others get inspiration from you. You will feel that I have given a justification to my life. I took birth in this planet, but until and unless my works, my deeds are turning out to be an inspiration for others, I may not be feeling that I have given justification to my life. At least one person should get inspired from you. At that particular point, you would understand the real or the true value of your life. With this, the journey today again started from the dark point and ended with the bright point. The journey got started from ignorance to awareness, and now you are aware with certain facts like speaking in front of public is really easier than speaking in front of a one-to-one conversation. Having a command over language in public speaking is essential, but at the same time, having a command over your thought process is even more essential. Until and unless you are having a command over your thought process, it will not allow you to deliver the things in any language. Maybe it's in your vernacular language, but it will really become very difficult if you don't have a command over your thoughts. We have also come to understand that having a command over thought and command over language, when these two joins hands together, then it gives birth to a public speaker. To become a public speaker, first of all, command over your thoughts and command over your language, both the things are really required. And the last point that we have discussed today, inspire. Get inspiration, but not from others, from your own self. And the definition that we have given to inspiration is the first time that you are going to conceive a new idea, a new thought that is not letting you to slip, that is not letting you to stop working until the time you are going to get the results. That what is called as inspiration, and you need to get inspired from your within, not from others. With a short recapitulation to what we have studied today, your host, your coach, your mentor, Devashish Dev is resting the session until the time I'll be coming up with certain new learnings for you in the skill challenge. Thank you very much for listening to me.